Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, Eddie Hearns, he talked a little bit about some of the things that occurred here a few months ago in regards to the comments that he made to Gervonta Davis. And Jay, quite frankly, I think that's part of the reason why he and Gervonta Davis were unable to actually connect in terms of negotiations between he and Devin Haney. Now, a lot of people don't want to admit that. I always thought that could possibly be something that would have caused that. We saw what Tank Davis' response was to that, but he never really mentioned that. And so Eddie here just recently mentioned it, and I want to read this off very quickly. So Eddie Hearns has revealed that he spoke to Gervonta Davis yesterday and has now apologized to him. Do you remember when I said he's not a deep thinker? That pissed him off, I said. One reason that makes Gervonta so dangerous is he's not a deep thinker. But then I said he's not articulate. And that was the wrong word to use. I said to him yesterday, you're dangerous if you don't give a f. But I shouldn't have said those words. It was wrong to use those words. And for that, I apologize. And this was courtesy of IFL TV. Now, Jay, my perspective is we saw some screenshots of Eddie Hearns. I believe it was him DMing Gervonta Davis and basically asked Gervonta Davis, did he want to talk or could he talk to him? And he basically said no. And that is the reason, right? Because Eddie was basically disrespectful to him, said he was inarticulate and things of that nature. But not only that, man, Eddie Hearns is smart enough to know that you reach out to people's, their representation. You know what I mean? Like your fighter's representation. So individuals are going to reach out to you to make a fight. Why are you reaching out directly to fighters to make a fight when you know that his representation is Al Heyman, when you know his representation is Leonard Ellaby? It doesn't make any sense to me. So, but now we got an understanding of exactly why Gervonta Davis decided to say thanks, but no thanks. I don't want to have a conversation with you. And a lot of people tried to blame it on the $20 million or the fact that he was quote unquote ducking or whatever, or he wasn't trying to make the fight. That's what Bill Haney said, of course. But, this is a real beef. When you say something to that effect, of course, the individual is not going to want to have a conversation with you. And just because, of situations like this where individuals can get personal. I've used this scenario and analogy in the past. Do you want the boxers to be fully informed of what's going on? Absolutely. Do you want them at the table? Probably not. Because when people start to, tag a value to you, just like when you're selling your home, you have all these personal memories in your home. You have this emotional attachment and you feel that your home is worth X. And when someone says your home is not worth X, it's worth Y, you are now insulted. And that's the reason why you keep people out that have a personal interest in it, right? So reaching out directly to Gervonta Davis, why would you do that when you said something personally insulting to him? You reach out to his representation if you want to move forward. And not only that, you should have been apologized to the man because it was a disrespectful statement. So, Jay, what's your thoughts on what Eddie Hearns had to say in regards to Gervonta Davis, and do you believe whether or not that affected the fact that he didn't want to speak directly to him?
It definitely affected because we know people have told us before, boxers see everything and they may take stuff personal. A statement like that definitely be taken personal in that regard. It also reminds me of what recently Ryan Garcia's dad said, Henry Garcia said about the way Bill was approaching it, going through Tank and kind of insulting him as well instead of going to Al Heyman. So all of that kind of runs hand in hand where you're not going to get much movement when you're going disrespecting the boxer like that. Me personally, it wouldn't bother me no one bit. I could care. I could give two poops about it. You know what I'm saying? But in this regard here, I think that definitely didn't help move the needle for a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis and Devin Haney. That definitely didn't help. And then Bill didn't help neither with it. So with Eddie saying what he said, trying to walk it back now, it's a little bit too late, I feel. It also could be a fact that, he thinks he might have to try to be real nice to Tank to try to get on his side as well, just to try to possibly sign him in the future. But I doubt that's it. I think he's just trying to walk everything back right now to get in the good graces, whether that try to get a fight with Tank or maybe sign him in the future, which is probably slim to none on that signing him in the future. But Yeah, Eddie knows he shouldn't have said what he said, man. He already had a bad stigma about some things he had said before about other fighters, of color. So Eddie just needs to be smarter than that overall. And thing about Eddie, he's a fast talker. He's always gonna say something, one thing, and then he probably back himself out of it. Talk one side of his neck, talk out the other side of his neck. So that's what Eddie's gonna do. And I definitely think it has something to do with stopping this fight with Devin and Tank or causing some issues with that, with them being Devin's promoter at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt that he did. And, already, I believe that maybe they could have gotten some traction there. But Eddie, again, regardless of what Tank did or what, to me, if you're really serious about making a fight, Jay, you reach directly out to the representation. Like, I don't get why you would reach out to the fighter. Like, it makes no sense to me. Why are you reaching out to Tank Davis knowing that you have a personal beef with him? And it's not like, listen, Eddie hasn't gotten to where he's gotten to because he's stupid. I haven't gotten to where I've gotten to because I'm stupid, right? You haven't gotten to where you've gotten to because you're stupid. So clearly it's very easy to understand what it is that you need to do in order to seriously get to where you want to get to. Like when you set out any goal, Jay, you know exactly what it is, the milestones that need to be accomplished in order to get to the goal that you want to get to. And so if the goal is truly to make a fight with Gervonta Davis and you're serious about that, you're not going to reach out to the fighter. I'm going to call the guys, and I know he has the ability to get in contact with Al Heyman instead of DMing a fighter. So this is the thing. These are the things that I feel like fight fans, they feel like we're being haters towards Devin Haney, and I'm like, I enjoy Devin Haney. We gave him kudos for what he did. I like Bill Haney. I give Bill kudos for marketing Devin, but I see it for what it is. It's marketing. It's absolute marketing, Jay. If it was a serious situation, you'd reach out to, think about this, man, a company. Let's say you got a multi-million-dollar company or entity or whatever. They want to do a deal with, I don't know, let's say Goodyear wants to do a deal with Ford, to sell them tires for their completed cars, right? You think that the buyer from Ford is going to reach or the sales rep from Goodyear is going to reach out directly to the buyer at Ford through Instagram? Like, what are you like, guys? That's not how business is handled. So you gotta, when you guys say we're haters like that, it's like, it just becomes baffling to me. You don't present a $20 million deal through a tweet, an inbox tweet.
Yeah, tweet.
And then you see proof that Gervonta Davis simply said no. So how is it truthful that Gervonta Davis turned down $20 million? He didn't even have a conversation with you. So that in and of itself is not truthful. So like, I don't understand why people get pissed at us because we point these things out. It makes no sense to me.
And especially saying that we're haters of Devin because we were the few that were in the trenches fighting for Devin after the Loma fight, saying that Devin won that fight.
Facts.
We were the few people out here going toe to toe with everyone. Oh, that was a robbery. I'm like, wasn't a robbery. It was a close fight, but Devin won it. Now all of a sudden, we're hating on Devin. It doesn't make sense to me. Makes no sense
at all. So you guys tell us what you think in the comment section in regards to what Gervonta Davis and well, really Eddie Hearns had to say. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, AM Sports Media, and we are out.